Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 20th, 2024. What's going on? How are ya? How's it going in your neck of the woods, man? Podcast is a little late today. I was road dogging it this weekend, and I had a long drive coming back. Went old school. I went old school. 5.5 hour drive. But I liked it. I haven't done that in a while. And I'll tell you, the other day, I did a gig up in Fresno. And I drove with Club Soda Kenny up to 99. And I got to see what that part of California looked like. And now I went up to Monterey area. And... it's just one of those, it's just such a beautiful state, California. Don't listen to what these fucking people say. Okay, all of these idiots who aren't out here. Like, if I took a picture of where I was driving in California, you would think it was like Nebraska, Iowa, or Kansas. And as far as all the farmland and all that, maybe what they were growing would tip you off that you weren't there. Gorgeous hills and all that type of stuff, and going through towns, and you see all the people that pick the food and all of that, the ones that idiots want to get out of this country. It's like, you get them out of the fucking country. You can't even get an American to do a regular job. Well, they're not really paying anybody anymore. I'm just saying, your diet immediately becomes really limited with all of these people you want to kick out of the country that are doing fucking backbreaking work in brutal conditions. So, people that defend the country and people that fucking are in farming. That's probably the two most important, right? Jesus Christ, Bill, we didn't come here for a lecture. Oh, jeez. So anyway, I was up there this weekend, and I just went up there. I had no idea that it was the same weekend as the Pebble Beach Auto Show, the hoity-toity auto show. I heard English people walking around town, people speaking French, German, fucking rich cunts from around the world, all fly in to look at those great Gatsby-looking cars, the Mercedes Gullwings and all of that shit. Not because they're into cars, because it's a good investment. No, some of the people are into cars. And then other people, you just go in there. Like, here's something that's bad for people that are into cars. A buddy of mine sent this to me. One of those Superbirds. One of those Superbirds went for $3.3 million. Let me find the fucking article. No internet, of course, because I have to shut it up to this thing. Basically, some fucking guy bought the car in 2 years ago for $1.6 million. And it was a unique color. It was this green. And the guy got and it's one of the most fully loaded Superbirds out there. He got the biggest engine. He got the factory AC. He got the fucking power windows, the whole fucking thing. It's in great condition. This guy bought it for $1.6 million. 2 fucking years later, sold it for $3.3. You can't do that in the stock market unless you know shit, unless you're a senator. You can do that as a senator, but if you're just a regular person, there's no place else you can do that. So that's not good for car collectors, because that's gonna start attracting people who can't even change the oil in their car, who got money to just start buying shit like that. So it's a shame that those cars are... Here's one. When's the last time you saw a Superbird driving down the fucking street? The thing's worth $3 million now. Somebody a Nissan Leaf fucking rear end. Sorry about that. I don't know if you're gonna fucking leave it alone. But I will tell you this. I actually, when I found out that the Pebble Beach thing was up there, I was just going, I wonder how much tickets are. I go, probably like $500, $600, $700. It's $7,000 per ticket to go onto the golf course and look at all of these fucking cars. You know, the ones that have like the fucking leather straps to hold the hood down. Those giant Auga cars, which I don't understand. I don't get those cars at all. I don't have an understanding or an appreciation of them. They just look like you hollowed out a metal log and stuck 4 wheels on it. Maybe if I saw one I mean, I don't know. I'm not into cars until like the 1940s. Right around 1940, I like that Ford pickup. Of course, everybody does, right? And then somewhere, I don't know, mid-40s, late 40s, you stop sitting inside the wheel wells and they become wider. And then everything after that, I fucking love. Every year, there's like one car that I fucking love. But what was cool about up there is if you don't have the money to go to Pebble Beach or you don't give a shit about like Duesenbergs and stuff like that, not saying that's all there is, because there was like a Mecum car auction up there, so I'm sure there was some Mopar power coming up on the block, right? They had all of these other car shows and just people driving around town. Like, I'll tell you, all the fucking cars I saw this weekend, one of the coolest things I saw, I think it was a 1965 El Camino that was sort of like this British racing green, forest green sort of color. And I don't know what they did to the car, but it just was a beautiful sound. And the guy accelerated a little bit and you could just see all the power that they had. And it was just like, there was another thing like up the street. I saw like this car show and I saw like a Grand National, all of these other cars. There's another like classic car place up there, Dino's or something like that. And they had this Porsche that I always wanted when I was a kid. I forget what one. It was not the 911 or the 912, which I recently found out. The 912 looks like the 911, but it has a Volkswagen engine in it. That other one, the one that was like, it was almost like the first Boxster. I don't know what it was, but when I was a kid, I thought it was the coolest car because it was so fucking low to the ground and small, and then it said Porsche on the side. It had writing on it. And, you know, I was like 6 years old the first time I saw one of those, and it was the 70s, so they were all like bright yellow and green and orange. And I just fucking loved the car, even though I guess historically it's kind of looked at as like an underpowered Porsche. But it's almost like the front end and the back end look the same, whatever one that is. There's some Porsche fanatics screaming what kind of car that is. But it was really cool. And I went up there with my daughter. We had like a dad-daughter weekend. And just a gorgeous seaside town. They had like seals chilling out, like right around the Fisherman's Wharf, you know, just laying around these fucking things. Some of the bigger ones, it's like that thing looks like it weighs like 2,000 pounds, 1,500 pounds. And just to know that something that big is swimming for its life and gets swallowed in like 2 bites by like a fucking killer whale is insane. But so that was kind of cool. So I just like went around town with my kiddo and was just doing dad-daughter stuff as all of these cool cars were coming by. And my daughter was like pointing out the ones that she liked. And she liked like all the Lamborghinis and the Ferraris, and Corvettes was sort of her thing. It's like, all right, you kind of like the supercars, okay, which makes sense as a kid, you know. But anyway, that was sort of my weekend. So we drove up there. I had no idea. I just wanted her to see the coast and see some seals and stuff like that. And but it was wild, that weather up there. Like, you'd be in like downtown Monterey and it'd be like hot as hell. You're like, why did I bring a sweatshirt? And then you'd go like 4 miles north of that and it would be completely fogged in, like down to the ground, like shut down the airport level, like the middle of the day. Craziest weather. I had been around, you know, like every place I go to, like, hey, you don't like the weather? Stick around for a minute. Everybody thinks they have the craziest fucking weather. I've heard people say that in every accent, in every part of it. Hey, you don't like the weather? Oh, shit, hang around a minute. everybody thinks that they have the craziest weather. I will say that, as far as like aviation goes, like that was fucking terrifying. Unless you have an instrument rating, I don't think I would fly in that area. First of all, when I was going up there, the wind was fucking nuts. And and then like every day I was there, it would be like totally clear. And then out of nowhere, this marine layer would come in, and it would come in really fast, and it would be all the way down to the ground. I don't know. There has to be other airports further inland, because I know it was probably like sunny as hell and 30 degrees warmer. I don't know what, but it seemed like big boy shit to me. Anyway, I am babbling here because I just got back from the road, so my brain's a little frazzled.